All right, welcome back. We're in Lower Montegut, and as you can tell by the interview we just had with the ladies who lost their home, we have Danny Soltis and Christine, and all I can say is it was rocking and rolling down here.
Yeah, I didn't stay for this one. I usually stay, but this one I left for.
Yeah, and Christine, when you came back, no roof. It seems like it moved debris all over, but I'm trying to make sense of the debris. Your roof is back, which tells me some northwest pushed the roof off, but yet other people's roofs are over here, and they told me a tornado came over this area. From the looks of it, I can believe it.
I believe so too, because they got a lot of things that should be one way and everything else is going two ways. So you find, why my roof's in this yard and in the other yard, it's unexplainable, you know.
And the pine trees sort of twist. So it's a little unusual. But Danny, how long have you been here?
I moved down here in '73. I was raised in New Orleans, and we moved here since '73. I've been through a lot of storms, but this is the worst one I've seen yet.
Any idea? I mean, I'm hearing reports. Looks like the western eye wall came right over here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they caught a little bit of the eye right here on the inside. Anybody say it calmed down for a little bit?
Yeah, I had several people told me the eye passed here, but where I was staying at my son's house on Ranch Road, there wasn't no eye. No eye come over that. It didn't get calm at all, but several people told me it got real calm over here. Yeah,
so and they told me for a brief period, which means it's probably in that western eye wall. Any reports of wind? What are you hearing with the winds around here?
I've heard some people tell me that stayed here, clocked the wind at 180 miles an hour blowing for 1 hour steady.
And did they have instruments to read that?
Yes, on his boat he had instruments to read it.
180 steady.
180 steady for 1 hour.
Can we say Cat 5?
I know it was a Cat 5. I don't care what the weather people say.
Right, no doubt, no doubt. Christine, is this the worst that you've ever been through?
No, it's not, because I live right next door. I was born and raised next door. So I've been through the Camille thing and everything since I was a little bitty. Right. And every time we had a storm, we always took off in my dad's boat, and we all stayed storms on a boat. I do not like having storms in a house.
Right.
I'd rather go on a boat and just sit it out on a boat.
But it's the worst one you've seen.
But Andrew and all was pretty bad, because we had grass about 4 foot tall. So.
Yeah, but you had a lot more water too for Andrew, right? Well, you had water here from the backflow. I mean,
as far as damage, this is the worst I ever saw. Yeah. Being older and stuff.
Right, Danny, did you ever think you'd have water? I mean, this thing was so strong it broke some of the gates.
Well, yeah, and that's how the water came in. It come up through the bayou, went down the road, it went across the road and flooded us from the back. Right. And I didn't really believe we'd have water, but the gates didn't hold up.
Yeah. Now, y'all were telling me y'all got some help from FEMA?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is it enough?
No.
Not really, no, sir.
Okay.
We're fixing to call FEMA back, and plus some people's coming today, so to try to help us out to get more help.
Now, I know your neighbors. We were interviewing them a while ago, and for the two ladies to be in that house that I'm looking at right over y'all's shoulder, and one of them said she'd do it again. She's staying there again. I said, wow, that's pretty courageous, but I don't know by looking at that home. She described it as a tornado over this area, so that must have been something.
I think what it was, the wind was so strong, people were thinking it's a tornado. But when you get some strong winds like that, they said they almost couldn't even open the door for that last storm we had. But over there, it was bad. Their house is slanted. I never saw their house like that before.
But you know, when you think about it, Danny, 190 for that long a time, that's like being in a tornado.
Oh,
that's what I say. It ain't had to be a tornado. That strong of a wind is going to destroy anything. We got bad damage, but they got other people that's got it worse than us. Yeah. And what FEMA gave me ain't enough, but I appreciate anything that they do give me. You know, it is what it is.
What you playing? Rebuild, huh?
Hopefully, don't know. Don't know yet. We're going to have to see till everything's done and then make our decision what we're going to do.
You had a shingled roof.
Yes, sir.
And you had a wood rafters, and you're thinking about maybe going galvanized?
I'd love to go with corrugated, but it's the money situation right now.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I feel for y'all because I'm seeing all the things that were pushed around by the water underneath, and I'm seeing a lot of things that are just not in place. No. But it's a process, and almost one step at a time, huh, Christine?
Yes, it is. And what's bad, ever since the hurricane, I got a right foot that's hurting me, and I'm trying to help him, and sometimes he's got to do it by himself. So I feel sorry for him that he's got to come by himself to do it. And we really don't get no help from nobody, so not unless you pay him.
Yeah, but that's why you married him, huh? Look at Danny taking it in.
I don't want her coming out here because she got diabetes and all, and I don't want her to get nothing wrong with her legs.
Right.
So, hey, just do what I can do. When I get tired, I stop.
Well, I admire y'all folks. This is Lower Montegut, and a lot of damage, a lot of rebuilding, one day at a time. And, you know, if you're watching and you have means and you have materials that people can use, reach out to them and try to help your neighbor, and certainly it'll go a long way. We'll take a short break. We'll be back on the bayou of Lower Montegut. Don't go away.